easily. Since Hamas seized control of Gaza in 2007, the humanitarian situation has deteriorated drastically. Hamas does not use international aid for the benefit of its citizens to build schools or hospitals, but instead to build sophisticated underground tunnels into Israel with the intent of committing terror attacks. And it has gone relatively unreported, certainly not mentioned at all in this debate, that Israel has facilitated the passage of well over 10 million tonnes of construction materials into Gaza since Operation Protective Edge in 2014. It has expanded and developed its Kerem Shalom goods crossing to increase its capacity to 800 trucks a day, which carry food, medical equipment, fuel, building materials and more. And yet, on at least 3 occasions in recent weeks, Hamas have set fire to the crossing and to the gas pipelines which serve the people of Gaza. They have refused and destroyed aid supplies, including the medicines other members have rightly highlighted that there is a severe shortage of, when they've realised that those aid supplies came from Israel. That sort of attitude is completely incomprehensible and only compounds the suffering of Gazans who are living in the most horrifying of situations. Israel regularly allows Gazan patients to get treatment inside Israel and also helps Gazan doctors and nurses to receive further medical training at Israeli hospitals. And when I visited Tel Aviv, I saw Israeli doctors at Save a Child's Heart providing life-saving heart surgery to Palestinian children and training Palestinian doctors who will return to Gaza to be able to perform that surgery themselves. Yeah, very briefly.
My honourable friend makes the point about Israeli hospitals treating citizens from Gaza. Is he aware that some of the people that Israeli hospitals have treated include senior Hamas operatives themselves and members of their family and their children?
And thank my honourable friend for that point, and it is a good one that, of course, senior officials within Hamas are always too ready to allow access to the very high standards of health care within Israel while seeking to block it for their own citizens. But it was those moments in that Tel Aviv hospital which did give me hope that peace could be achieved, because what we did see there was Palestinian and Israeli working together with mutual respect and as equals. And so when we debate the disastrous humanitarian situation in Gaza, we can't ignore the role of Hamas, as others have sought to do. And indeed, when I was in the West Bank and I met with the Palestinian chief negotiator, what struck me was that his overriding emotion wasn't frustration or anger or upset, but there was a real sense of despondency and guilt, because he felt very keenly that the loss of the Gaza elections in 2006 to Hamas, the subsequent Battle of Gaza in 2007, and the political violence we saw in 2009 when Hamas's opponents were tortured, shot, thrown off buildings, has created an insurmountable obstacle to peace and left the innocent people of Gaza at the mercy of an authoritarian, militant, jihadi regime. No, I've not got time, sorry. And I think it is important to note that the PA is not reconciled with Hamas. They can't work with them or bring them to the table. They don't want Hamas to be in control of Gaza. They've sought to use financial measures to isolate Hamas, and President Abbas, over the past couple of weeks, has really tried to increase pressure on the regime to transfer power over Ramallah. And I do think that until Hamas renounce violence, seek to work for peace and cooperate with the international community, the humanitarian situation in Gaza is only going to get worse.